Welcome back to Red Devils TV, the realest channel on YouTube, and this is your Manchester United versus Liverpool preview. Now, Liverpool win, that's it, end of story, video done. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, bye-bye. All jokes aside, guys, let's actually dissect and talk about the upcoming game against Liverpool, because it's not going to be like the FA Cup. We know this. It's, hopefully, we can get a point, just 1 point. I mean, our most recent game against Chelsea, it was a very entertaining game for a neutral. And as a United fan, the emotions that we all experienced were depression and excitement. Back to depression. That is literally exactly what it was throughout that whole Chelsea game. So United have shown they can score goals, and we are playing quite well, but we're not winning. And this is where a massive question is looming over Erik Ten Hag's head when it comes to, does he have what it takes to win, especially against the bigger teams? Because his record against the big six, the established big six, isn't a good one. So we need to talk about how Manchester United can possibly even compete with Liverpool. Not even beat them, compete with Liverpool. But standard, as we know, Jürgen Klopp sets up with a 4-3-3 formation, and he only practically plays the 4-3-3 formation. I mean, we've seen briefly, if you've watched Liverpool this season, they kind of play with a box midfield formation where they have their established back four. They'll have two central defensive midfielders, like two sixes, you could say. Like one midfielder will drop back with Endo, or it'll be McAllister or someone else like that, and then their one winger and the other attacking midfielder will drop and they'll create the box formation, and then they'll have their two strikers up front. But it's normally the 4-3-3. So who is going to be Liverpool's biggest and toughest player? Now, I would sit here and say Mo Salah normally, because Mo Salah has a ridiculous record against Manchester United. He loves to score against us. But I'm going to say McAllister. McAllister is going to be the key player for Liverpool in this game. And for me, he's going to be Premier League signing of the season. I mean, for £35 million, so many people are talking about Cole Palmer. And this is me being salty from the other night for us losing against Chelsea. McAllister, for, was it £35 million, £40 million, whatever it was, has been an absolute bargain and has revolutionised the midfield of Liverpool. And no doubt, whatever manager comes in to replace Jürgen Klopp, McAllister is going to be still one of the first players on that team sheet, because what he brings. He had a bit of a shaky start to the season playing that lone six role, but as he's been moved up into that 8 role, we've seen the true McAllister. And even when he was playing as a 6 for Liverpool, he was still playing quite well. So let's just not underestimate him. We know how good he is, but Liverpool still also have many injuries. They've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, they've got Jota, they've got their goalkeeper Alisson Becker, but they've also got a player who's currently out injured or is doubtful for this game, and that is Endo. Now, if you watched the FA Cup game, which if you didn't, you missed out on one of the best games you'll ever watch as a United fan, but Endo was just that engine in midfield, and he made it a nightmare to get through Liverpool's midfield. So him being out, he might be seen as an average player, but to me he reminds me of Park Ji-sung for Man United. He's Park Ji-sung for Liverpool. He's an underrated player, but no matter where he plays, he'll give a 110% effort, non-stop running, non-stop aggression, and Liverpool need that in their midfield. And United also need that in their midfield, because our midfield, it has been very shaky. Against Liverpool, we need to make sure that there are strict instructions, and Erik Ten Hag needs to set them instructions sternly, because we cannot have Bruno Fernandes free roaming. We can't have Marcus Rashford jogging around. We need action, and that's exactly how we're going to compete with Liverpool. I'm not even going to sit here and predict a score prediction, because it's a game that's impossible to call. But I just don't see how we're going to beat Liverpool in this game. But at the end of the day, how are we going to set up? I'm going to just call it the same as we did against Chelsea, because, this time, you don't bring on Marcus Rashford. Rashford was dropped against Chelsea for a reason, and whether that was because of fallout, or Erik Ten Hag has finally had enough of his poor performances, or Erik Ten Hag just gave in to the fans, you stick with it, Erik. That team played really, really well. Defensively, we switched off, and the 2 goals we conceded were very bad goals. Onana made the mistake on the first goal against Chelsea. It was a bad tackle by Anthony, but even if you look it back, it wasn't even a penalty to concede the goal. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here. It's done and dusted now. United lost the 3 points, and that's it at the end of the day. And then you've also got the third goal, which was just crap, the penalty. And then the short set piece corner, Cole Palmer scores again. Hat-trick. So let's hope that no Liverpool players get a hat-trick, because I think that a convincing performance in this game is the survival future of Erik Ten Hag. If we get battered 7-0, I can guarantee you that the majority of the fans will be done. Majority of the fans are already done, and majority of the fans aren't going to give Erik Ten Hag any time. But even as a United fan myself, who backs Erik Ten Hag, it's becoming very, very hard to back this manager. I said it in the last video that Erik Ten Hag seems like a good manager, but what separates a good manager to a great manager is, do they know how to win? Every manager wants their team to win. Sean Dyche for Everton, Vincent Kompany for Burnley, Erik Ten Hag for Manchester United, Pep Guardiola for Man City. But at the end of the day, it's the managers who know how to win is what separates the good and the great. And Erik Ten Hag is in the good at the moment, because we had such a good first season under Erik Ten Hag. And, we've definitely overrated him, and we've definitely overachieved under Erik Ten Hag. And this season's been very underwhelming. But we've also got to realise that the injury crisis that's affected us massively has been a massive setback, because United have never, in the last 10 years, had a strong squad. We've had a strong starting 11, but when injuries happen, it's happened over the last decade. Once we lose a key player, we don't have enough quality on the bench or in the squad to bring on and be a replacement for that player. And the same's happened under Erik Ten Hag. So this is why I advise United fans to back Erik Ten Hag under this new Sir Jim Ratcliffe structure. Let him see what he can do. Let's see what Sir Jim Ratcliffe's big plan is, and to see if he can revolutionise Manchester United and get us back to the top. And we'll just see at the end of the day. Plus, Erik Ten Hag only has 1 year left in his contract. So realistically, you can sack him midway through next season, and it won't be that big of a deal, really, if you think about it that way. But if I am going to say score prediction, I know I'm not going to. I am going to say if it can end 2-0, maybe 2-1 to Liverpool, I'd be happy. I know I wouldn't be happy, because I want us to win, but I'm being realistic. Right now, the way I feel, and from what I saw against Chelsea, we're not going to beat Liverpool. And that's simple. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. That's it at the end of the day. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.